It is the start of 2026, and if you're sitting on a deposit, you're probably feeling this massive sense of déjà vu.
Oh,
The
absolutely.
market looks a bit softer, rates are down, but then every time you think about moving, some new headline just makes you freeze.
It's total analysis paralysis. You see all the numbers moving, but you just don't know which way to jump.
Exactly. So today we are going to cut through all that noise. We've got the 2026 report from the Homeowners Alliance right here. It's a huge data dump on rates, prices, the whole economy.
Right.
And our mission is simple: to answer that one big question: is the wait-and-see strategy finally dead?
And, the report doesn't pull its punches on this. The headline verdict is a cautious yes, it is time to buy.
A cautious yes.
But, and this is the crucial part, only if you're looking at a house as a home. Something to live in for, say, 5+ years, not an investment to flip into.
Okay, let's pressure test that, yes. Because for the last couple of years, the barrier wasn't really desire, was it? It was the monthly repayment. Has that math actually changed enough to matter?
The landscape has shifted, and pretty fast. I mean, if you cast your mind back to February 2024, the average 2-year fixed rate was a brutal 5.56%.
I remember it priced a huge chunk of people out of the market entirely.
Right. Now, fast forward to today, February 2026, and that average is down to 4.23%. But here's the real kicker.
Go on.
If you really shop around, you can find fixed deals sitting at 3.5%. That is the lowest we've seen since all the chaos back in 2022.
Okay, 3.5% is better, sure. But let's be honest, compared to the 1% days of the 2010s, that still feels expensive.
It does, but that 1% era is, well, it's likely gone for good. The new normal is probably this 3.5% to 4.5% range.
So waiting for a miracle is a bad idea.
The report argues that waiting for rates to drop back to near zero is a fantasy. In fact, waiting might actually cost you more.
Because while you're waiting for that rate cut, the price of the house itself is on the move.
Exactly. While you're holding out for a slightly cheaper mortgage, the actual price of the bricks and mortar is creeping up. Forecasts for 2026 put price growth between 1.5% and 4%.
So the logic is lock in the asset price now before it grows, rather than gambling on a rate cut later.
Precisely. And we also have what the report is calling post-budget clarity.
Yeah.
The speculation over the 2025 budget has settled, people know where they stand, and that brings buyer confidence back.
But hold on a second. It's not just the monthly mortgage. The government changed the rules on the upfront costs, too. We have to talk about stamp duty.
That is the sting in the tail. As of April 1st, 2025, the thresholds were lowered.
Which means you start paying tax on a cheaper property than you used to.
Correct. It effectively just raised the entry fee for both first-time buyers and home movers.
And that all links back to the wider affordability issue. The report says mortgage payments are still eating up about 45% of gross income. That is down from the peak of 49% in 2024, but historically, that is still an incredibly high level of stress on a household budget.
It is, and the economy isn't exactly sprinting to the rescue either. We're seeing forecasts for UK growth downgraded to a pretty sluggish 1% for 2026.
And this is where the Trump tariffs come in, right? I saw that in the notes. How does U.S. trade policy actually impact a potential buyer in, say, Birmingham?
It's all about inflation. If the U.S. slaps on tariffs, global trade gets more expensive. Prices for everything go up.
Okay.
And when prices go up, central banks, like the Bank of England, get very nervous about cutting interest rates too quickly.
So the tariffs essentially put a floor under how cheap our mortgages can get.
Exactly. It just keeps lenders cautious.
Okay, so here's the dilemma. You've got high taxes, sluggish growth, geopolitical tariff wars. Why on earth wouldn't I just keep renting and let someone else take all the risk?
Because renting has become its own financial crisis. The rental trap is very real.
I've heard this.
The average UK rent hit £13,302 this past January. That's up another 2.4%.
So you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
In a way. But the report highlights that buying gives you a fixed cost. Your mortgage might be high, but it's your cost. Your rent can jump every single year.
Right.
Plus, in some regions right now, it is very much a buyer's market.
Meaning there's blood in the water.
Meaning sellers are nervous too. Because of that economic sluggishness we mentioned, you have real room to negotiate aggressively. You can't do that with the landlord.
So if we pull all this together, 2026 offers a kind of stability, but it's not a bargain basement.
No, not at all. It's a window of opportunity, but for the long-term player. The consensus is that the market has already priced in future rate reductions.
So waiting is the bigger gamble.
Waiting for a miracle crash or a miracle rate drop is statistically the riskier move.
It comes back to that old saying, doesn't it? It's time in the market, not timing the market.
That's it.
So here's the thought we want to leave you with. We always calculate the interest on a mortgage as dead money. But with rents rising and house prices ticking up, is the cost of waiting actually the most expensive debt of all?
That is the million-pound question, isn't it?
Something to think about while you're scrolling through those property listings tonight. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.